2025. I am Councillor Jeff Jones and I will be chairing today's meeting. Just to make you all aware, this meeting will be recorded. Can I welcome any members of the public and press to today's meeting? Can I kindly ask you to observe the meeting only, not speak or participate unless you have registered to do so. Please ensure that your phones are switched to silent for the duration of the meeting. I wish to remind members signing in remotely of the legal obligation to have their cameras switched on during the meeting, please, in order to be seen and heard while participating in council business. If you wish to speak or ask a question, please raise your electronic hand on Teams or physical hand if in person. Should you wish to ask any questions of any of the attendees here today, please ensure these come through me as the chair. I will now move on to agenda item 1, Chair's announcements. An amendment sheet was circulated. Can I confirm that all members have received it and had a chance to read through it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Great, thank you. Agenda item 2 is declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest?
I see no hands, Chair.
Thanks, Tommy. Agenda item 3, minutes of the previous meeting. The minutes from the meeting held on the 18th of February 2025 are attached on pages 5 to 6 of the agenda pack for approval. Members, do you have any comments to make on the accuracy of these minutes? Please can I have a proposer and seconder to approve the minutes?
Happy to propose, Chair.
I'll second, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, councillors. If you do not raise your hand to the contrary, I will assume that you are in favour of approving the minutes. Agenda item 4.
Just confirm that, Chair.
Oh,
There doesn't seem
sorry,
to be
Tommy.
no problem.
Yeah.
There's no indications to the contrary, so those minutes have been
Thank you. Agenda item 4 is request for site visits. Are there any members who wish to suggest a site visit on the application presented today or for any other matter? Please let me know if you wish to call for a site visit at any point in the meeting. Now we move on to matters for decision. Application P2024-0339. Mixed use development at Barrows Yard, Aberafon, Talbot. Report set out on pages 7 to 70 of your agenda pack, and this application is recommended for approval. I would now like to ask the planning officer to take us through the report. Chris?
Thank you, Chair. So this is planning application P2024-0339 for mixed-use development comprising a food store, use class A1, and a separate coffee shop with drive-through use class A3, together with associated access onto Avon Way and Water Street, car parking and servicing, external lighting, landscaping, drainage, and other associated site works. Location of the site is Barrows Yard off Avon Way, Aberafon. This application is before you due to the local authority being a joint applicant and of its strategic importance within the Talbot area. So you see before you a copy of the location plan. You'll see Water Street and the Scuffin Road at the top, Isaac Place to the left, and Avon Way located the bottom right-hand corner. This is an aerial imagery of the site. As you see, the site is undeveloped, but you will note from the planning report, the site has previously been granted planning permission for retail uses, which was partly in the construction and now removed, and the site has fallen into some kind of state of disrepair. You will note the existing highway network around, and to the bottom of the plan, you will see the roundabout that links onto the PDR. Here are some images of the site as it stands. You can see the blue holding that currently surrounds the site and the overgrown nature of the site as it currently stands. That's the view towards Isaac Place from Avon Way. There's a view from Avon Way, which is slightly elevated on that corner, back towards Water Street. The existing site access at the corner by Scuffin Road. You see the commercial properties located in the distance there on the opposite side. So this is the view as you're travelling from the centre of Talbot down Water Street, down towards the McDonald's and the roundabout. You can see the site indicated there with the red arrow. Again, we've identified some of the local landmarks in the area. You've got the application site, the McDonald's restaurant and drive-through opposite, and the ATS, where you will note from the report the flood defence wall is to be constructed. So this is the Water Street frontage. You note the two-storey terrace residential properties opposite, and the existing temporary hoarding that surrounds the site. Water Street, as you'll note from the report, and we'll go further in the presentation to identify the footway along Water Street will be widened to 3.2 metres to provide a active travel combined footway cycleway. This is the view from Avon Way down towards Isaac Place. You can see the slight change in elevation there and levels between Avon Way and Isaac Place, the residential properties and terraces leading off that. So here is the proposed site layout. So it's the right-hand corner, you will see the proposed Starbucks drive-through and restaurant with the Sardin landscape features at the corner and the LD store located with its elevations fronting both Avon Way and into the site. The access there off Avon Way and the car parking. For the top, the site at the junction with the Scuffin Road, you can see the proposed service yard area. So these are some elevations of the store. The east and west elevations and south and north elevations. So with active frontages facing both Avon Way and into the site itself and the car parking area, with the other elevations being predominantly blank. These are elevations of the Starbucks proposed restaurant and drive-through. Once again with active elevations and the higher level of the drive-through elements, you can that can be identified through its advertising. This is the CGI view of the site from Avon Way towards the town centre. So you can see this, the Aldi store there on the left-hand side of the plan, and the Starbucks restaurant at the top end corner. Again, some CGI images of the proposed A3 cafe and drive. This plan here identifies the junction arrangements as set out within the report. There was lots of negotiation regarding the access way. You will note that this provides a left turn out only. Independent road safety consultants were part of the consultation process. This scheme was put together in negotiation with the local authority and all relevant consultees. Again, these are just some details from the servicing arrangement plans showing the HGV tracking, so the vehicles can enter and leave in a forward gear safely along the existing highway network. This is the proposed site plan with the active travel upgrades. As I referred to previously, the frontage onto Water Street, that section will be widened to 3.2 metres of the footway to provide combined footway and cycleway. There's new pedestrian links through the site, bicycle stands and new pedestrian links out onto Abbey Way as well to make sure that the site is accessible by all means of transport and sustainable transport. In terms of biodiversity and SARDs, there's a full scheme of biodiversity enhancements and landscaping within the site that incorporates SARDs and water features. Again, pardon for the detail on the plan is pretty intense, that one with all of the planting arrangements. That shows the amount of planting and landscaping proposed as part of it, as part of that scheme. both biodiversity enhancement and for the SARB's drainage process. In terms of the principle of development and the retail impact, these are set out on the report from pages 19 onwards. As noted, the site is within defined settlement limits and on a site where retail development has previously been granted and commenced. The site is clearly in need of regeneration, resulting in negative impacts on surrounding properties and residents for some significant time, and unsightly along one of the main routes through the centre of the Talbot towards the city. In specific, in terms of retail impact, an independent retail consultant was appointed by the authority and considered the retail impact assessment and supplemental information provided. This identifies an impact on Talbot and Talbot town centres, but one that is not considered to be significant, subject to the conditions that we've imposed. You should note that the additional condition on the amendment sheet that was provided to you. In terms of visual amenity and residential impacts, these are all set out on pages 26 to 31. This obviously provides a significant improvement for this long-standing derelict site, with a good quality design and layout with biodiversity-friendly landscaping. Conditions regarding construction, operation are imposed to protect residential amenity, are there conditions regarding the operation of the site. Highway and active travel are set out on pages 39 onwards, and appropriate levels of car parking on site, including electrical charging, bus junction arrangements amended to reflect the safety of highway and pedestrian users, have been imposed. Active travel improvements along Water Street with a widened footway to provide combined footway cycleway provision that can only be provided by the developed site are proposed as part of this application. And access to the site for active travel users and pedestrians ensures sustainable accessibility for those who wish to visit the site on foot and cycle. Flood risk is an issue at this site, and an FCA is being provided. This is set out on pages 43 to 48. The FCA addresses on-site flood risk and mitigation, and we have imposed an appropriate worded granting condition to secure the off-site flood mitigation required. The site is also contaminated, and this is set out on pages 48 to 53. Obviously, the site is a former industrial heritage, and there is a suite of conditions imposed as part of this proposal that would ensure that the site can be developed appropriately and any contamination dealt with. Pages 56 and 69 set out our recommendation of conditions, plus those changes and additional condition as set out on the amendment sheet. Thereby recommending that the application is approved today, subject to those conditions imposed and those are set out on the amendment sheet. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chris. Does a local ward member like to come in and has anything to say, please?
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Thanks for the invite, first of all, and thank you, Chris, for the presentation there. My only real issue is that there's the left turn when you come out of the Little's car park opposite the McDonald's, where there's only a left turn there. Now, obviously, I'm in the area quite a bit, and people ignore the left-hand turns. They actually turn right out of McDonald's. So that my fear is it'll happen the same out of Little's as well. So is there going to be a physical island across the middle of the road so that it's stopped, even though it says go left, you'll have to go left because the island will be in the way? Is that I didn't see that in the plans, or I might have missed it.
Chris?
Can I bring in Justin Griffiths, the highway officer, and perhaps he can clarify the further detail.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Chair, and thanks, Chris, and thank you, Councillor Dacey, for the comments. Yes, if I can kindly ask Chris to put the plan back up, if that's at all possible. Chris, you could see on the actual layout, moreover, the entrance, the plan showing the entrance, Chris, if you don't mind, please. You will note then that there is an island. There's going to be a physical island then, an upstand there, Councillor. So unlike the opposite, which is obviously existing, and there is cultural issues there with vehicles coming out of McDonald's, and you know, the very few times that I've been passing there, I've seen one or two cars doing it myself. So there's seems to be a common cultural issue there with drivers who are coming out of McDonald's. But you can clearly see there, even though it's annotated as an island, my understanding is that will be a sort of an upstand So it'll be a vertical sort of like barrier, if you like, within the bell mouth of the junction, then, because it's got to allow safe crossing as well for pedestrians. You'll note that there is also tactile paving in the form of those the small squares that you see. Those are like blister paving, if you like, then for people to walk or from one side of the bell mouth to the other. So hopefully that will answer your question, Councillor. Diolch. Thank you, Chair. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you very much, Jeff, as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Dacey. Next, can I please call on Mr. Rob Jones, Real Estate Director of Aldi Stores, to speak in support of the application. You have 5 minutes to address the committee. Please begin when you are ready.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Rob Jones. I'm the Real Estate Director for Aldi in the Cardiff region. I'm delighted to be able to speak to you today about our proposals for a new mixed-use development, which includes an Aldi food store and a Starbucks coffee shop with drive-through. Aldi intends to redevelop Burrows Yard, which has been vacant for a long time and has been described by locals as an eyesore. Aldi will regenerate the site with a multi-million-pound investment in Port Talbot. I'm very pleased with our application has been given a strong recommendation for approval by your planning officers. Over many years, Aldi has been committed to providing quality and affordable produce to communities across Wales and the UK. We're proud to have been named Britain's cheapest supermarket 2024 by Which. We hope to expand on our offer in Port Talbot with a new modern store, providing more choice from our range of affordable, high-quality products. Aldi seeks to work with local communities and stakeholders as part of the planning process. We value local input into our proposals. During our pre-application consultation, we received significant support, with over 92% of locals saying they backed our proposals. We are pleased that this support has continued throughout, with the application receiving 317 supportive comments on the planning file. Throughout the application process, we have valued the work done by your planning and highways officers to highlight elements of the proposal that could be improved. As a result, we've incorporated changes, including a newly designed junction off Avon Way that is supported by the highways officers. This junction now provides both easy access and left-only egress from the site to improve traffic flow. It is also worth highlighting that your officers have sought specialist retail consultancy advice from Nexus Planning, who have confirmed that the retail policy tests of need, impact and sequential assessment are all met and there is no conflict with the development plan. Our proposed multi-use development in Port Talbot will bring numerous benefits to the local community. The multi-million-pound investment we would make to bring this site forward shows our commitment to investing in Port Talbot. Once operational, the site will create up to 40 new job opportunities across both Aldi and Starbucks. This will be supplemented with the transfer of all jobs from our current store on Commercial Road. The regeneration of this site would also bring significant employment during the construction phase and throughout the supply chain. Our in-store jobs are good quality, paid at industry-leading rates above the national and real living wage, with the opportunity for progression. We don't offer zero-hour contracts. Instead, we offer a range of hours from 25 plus per week. We place a local focus on recruitment, with most of our staff living within a mile of the store. Our proposals at Burrows Yard include a total of 139 parking spaces designed to cater to a range of needs, including 8 dedicated accessibility bays and 9 bays for parents with children. To promote active travel to the site, there will be new pedestrian and cycle routes from Water Street and provision for bicycle parking with Sheffield cycle stands at both Aldi and Starbucks. We are pleased that this development will include 18 live electric vehicle charging points with infrastructure for more as customer demand increases. Aldi takes the climate change emergency seriously, and as a business is always seeking to reduce our carbon footprint and help our customers do the same. The store will be heated using air source heat pumps. Our electricity will in part be generated from solar panels installed on the roof, and our energy efficient LED lighting and other initiatives will drive down our carbon footprint, including the use of chiller doors on the shop floor and the use of heat recovery systems. We also take design and landscaping seriously. It is an important part of our pre-application process. Our store will be built with high quality sustainable materials to produce a modern exterior. Our landscaping scheme has been reviewed and agreed by the Council's biodiversity officer and will help to advance the area's look and feel. It will include tree planting and soft landscaping throughout the site where appropriate. We are confident that this proposed Aldi store will not only serve the needs of Port Talbot, but also contribute to its vibrancy and growth. I hope you can support your officer's recommendation for approval, and I look forward to working with the council on this scheme and others in the future to deliver new jobs and investment in this part of Wales. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. We'll now take questions from the members of the committee. First up is Councillor Matthew Crowley.
Yes,
Oh, Matthew.
thank you, Chair. First question, if we could, you don't need the plan up, but just for my own thinking, where the new junction will be coming out of the old Burrows Yard site onto Avon Way. Obviously, there's a height significance there between the current road and the drop down to the Burrows Yard site. So does that mean that the Saabs will raise the whole site up as far as Mount Everest? The question number one.
I don't know whether, Justin, you want to bring that in, but obviously the road levels are set by technical standards, and in terms of junction plateaus, etc., they're all set by standards that are used across Wales. I mean, Saab's details won't necessarily change any levels, but obviously the site is also contaminated, and there's works required to deal with contamination on the site. I believe that the point of access, in terms of where exactly it is I don't think there's a significant ground level interest difference there. The site changes in levels as you move towards Isaac's Place, but Justin could probably give you details about in terms of actual drive gradients, etc.
If I could just come back on that particular issue, Isaac Place is the lowest point down, knowing the area very well. I worked at Burrows Yard for some time, so I know it quite well. So Isaac's Place is the lowest part down, and the road of Avon Way would be the highest point, leading down to what was where Starbucks is going, an old petrol station that was there, and that was only put there for a couple of years, and it failed miserably. So there is a significance in ground. Perhaps I'm sure it's the standard, Chris. I'm not suggesting that for 1 minute. Otherwise, that planning application wouldn't be in front of us. But that's point number one for me. I just wanted to raise that because I know there's a significance in roadside drop down to the site as it is. I think it's great to see that there's been a lot of caretaking in terms of the nature aspect with planting and greenery. That's great, and of course one would expect in today's modern planning that we have all the attributes in terms of heat source pumps, solar panels, in using reliable natural resources to energize these new projects. So that's well accepted as well. The only thing is, as we all know, if you drive down to and a local member, Andrew, will know this particularly well, if you drive in and around the McDonald's site, there's a massive overflow of bin problems. I know that's sort of part of the planning application, I get that, but we have to look at the negative aspects, because I think that Aldi and Starbucks will have to supply a guy to go around and pick all the rubbish that's strewn and blown from the McDonald's site, or unless McDonald's get their act together and put that. But I welcome the project, and it looks like Aldi are doing a good job. I just didn't quite catch, I'm sorry, are you closing the Talbot commercial road site?
Yes, as part of the proposal, obviously the site at Talbot isn't owned by Aldi, so their leases come into an end. I believe that as part of the retail impact assessment information, there's already a proposed occupier for that store who would take it on once it becomes vacant. I believe that was Home Bargains. I keep mixing them up with B&M Bargains, but I think it's Home Bargains. I've already signed up to take that lease there, so they'll take vacant possession of that building once Aldi move over to the new store.
Well, there's nothing else for me to do other than to say I wish Aldi and Starbucks all the success in the future, and I hope you last longer than the Texaco petrol filling station. And it's strange to see that this planning application has got a 2024 state on it, but it must be because of this one. because the site, I think, shut in 2007 rather. So it's been 18 years in the planning. So thank God for that. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Matthew. Thanks for that. Justin, would you like to add anything?
I was just going to come in, thanks, Chair, regarding Councillor Crowley's comment regarding SARBs. With the SUDS features themselves, it's there to tackle rainwater runoff at source effectively, and that together with the gradients which need to be compliant with our current all Wales common standards of our highways as well, which is across Wales that the majority of councils are using, and it needs to tie into the existing highway. So the development itself and the highway leading into the development is dictated by its threshold as it meets the existing highway. So hopefully that will answer your questions. The levels are all compliant, and I understand that there's a level difference, mind us, with Isaac Street, so that we were mindful of that. But in terms of the drainage that was currently there, I know some would argue that it's leaching into the ground and it's going into existing historical systems. We are doing away with that and making it significantly more sustainable. Okay, thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Councillor Crowley. Next, could I call in Councillor Keogh, please?
Thank you, Chair. Being the member for Markham and Talbot, on which the current store stands, Matthew has asked a question. Thank you, Matthew. The other question I want to ask, I noticed on your map, or the plan of the site, at the very top where Borough Street joins Water Street, or Ascotton Road rather, there seems to be a huge space in there. What is the plan for that space?
That's the service yard for the store.
That's the service yard for the store. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah. More questions? Oh, yeah. Calling back to this here then. There we are now. Thanks for that. Would the local ward member like to sum up before I move to the recommendation? Andrew?
Thank you, Chair. I, for one, welcome the investment from the two companies that's going there. It's been an eyesore on the entrance of Raven and Sandfields east. So I'm glad that something is going to go there at long last. We've been promised a long while that something is going there, and it's been an absolute eyesore. So I, for one, and I know a lot of residents in the area are welcoming it with open arms. So but I urge the committee to support it.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Councillor Suzanne Patterson.
So, thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, I was waiting to see if there's anybody else online that was indicated, because I can't make it out. Yeah, a very welcome planning application for this area with a reputable company that would, employ quite a lot of staff in a very good way. I'm pleased to see all the biodiversity and also bringing in line the active travel as well, that people will be able to have the wider pavements and things like that. So all in all, this has been long awaited, and it will bring to a conclusion residents, how can I put it, they just thought it was never going to happen, I think, and I'm very pleased to see such a detailed planning application, because it does mean that the company are actually going to follow through and and build this shop and accompanying coffee shop. It will improve the area, I do believe, and also serve the area for people who maybe haven't got motor vehicles to go all the way through to the town centre, especially for things like heavy groceries. There isn't anywhere for places in Aberafon and across the road in White City to shop, except for the odd thing and the local shops, but you don't go and do your main shopping in a local shop. So very pleased to see this, very timely, and I do believe also with the CCTV that would be introduced, it would help with preventing crime as well. So it's been planned in all aspects to enhance the site. So I'll be pleased to see this go through. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. Will I call back in Councillor Keogh, please?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just to say that I'm glad that the store in Talbot is being backfilled. I think the quality of the sound isn't great, but did you say BM bargains?
Home bargain.
Home bargains.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much. All I need to know. Very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Keogh. Are there any other members with questions? No, no. There we are. Now moving on to the recommendations which start on page 56 of the report. And again, this application is recommended for approval. Could I have a proposer and seconder to consider the recommendation?
I move, Chair.
Oh, thank you, councillors. Thank you. And in line with the amendment sheets. Yeah. Okay, there we are. Tammy, could you please ask each member if they have been present for the whole of this item and now they wish to vote? And could you then confirm the decision, please?
Certainly, Chair, yes. So starting at the top, Councillor Anne Harradol, please. Have you been present for the whole of this item and how do you wish to vote?
Yes, I've been present and I support the recommendation.
Thank you. Same questions to Councillor Tim Bowen, please.
Yes, I'm for.
Thank you, Councillor Bowen. Councillor Matthew Crowley, please. Have you been present for the whole of this item and how do you wish to vote?
Yes, ma'am, I have been present and I want to support the application. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Same to Councillor Rosalind Davis, please.
I've been present for the whole item and I'm voting in favour of the recommendation. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr, Councillor Davis. Chair, Councillor Jeff Jones, please.
Yes, I have been present and I vote for the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Councillor Carl Jordan, please.
Thank you, good afternoon, Tammy. I can confirm that I've been present throughout the item and voted in favour of the application.
Thank you, Councillor Jordan. Thank you very much. Councillor Keogh, please. Have you been present for the whole of this item and how do you wish to vote?
Yes, I have been present with the whole item and I move yes, certainly.
Thank you. Councillor Rydian Nyson, please.
Yes, I've been present for the whole item, Tammy, and I welcome this with open arms, yes.
Thank you. Councillor Suzanne Patterson, please.
Yes, Tammy, I've been here throughout and I've voted for the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Patterson. And Councillor Phil Rogers, please.
Yes, I've been present for the whole presentation and I vote in favour of the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Rogers. Can I just check I haven't missed any voting members of the committee off that roll call? No, there we go, Chair. That application has been approved unanimously.
Thank you, Tammy. We have no matters for information, so moving on to agenda item 6, which is urgent items. I can confirm we have no urgent items today. There are no further items, so that ends the business for today. Thank you all for attending.